Hello students, hope all well, great going, good. Today we have a poem How to Tell Wild Animals by Carolyn Wells. Carolyn Wells was an American writer who was famous for books based on mystery. This poem is a humorous poem. She suggests some dangerous ways of identifying wild animals. The suggested ways create humor. Let's take the first stanza. If you should go by chance to jungles in the east, and if they should to you advance a large and tawny beast, if he roars at you as you're dying, you'll know it is the Asian lion. Here, the poet is telling the readers that how they can recognize various animals in the jungles of the east. So, in first stanza, she says that if the reader comes across an animal whose skin is yellowish brown in color, and if it roars at him so strongly that he has encountered an Asian lion. She has humorously explained the Asian lion which could kill a person with its roar. Students, what when the animal attacks you? Are you able to recognize that animal and tell the world that yes, I was attacked by an Asian lion? No, because you're eaten up. So, this is the humor she has created in this paragraph, and in all the paragraphs, in all the stanzas, she has used this dark humor. This is called as dark humor. So, here I have used the typical word here highlighted and given the meaning below. So please go through this also and hope you will understand it better. Now we have literary devices. Rhyme scheme. Rhyme scheme A B A B C C. In all the stanzas, the same rhyme scheme follows. We have enjambment, continuation of a sentence to the next line here, and if they. So this line is repeated in the next line or continued the next line. We have inversion, change in the format of a sentence. If they should to you advance. So here there is a change in the sentence. Assonance, use of vowel sound O. You should go, should to you roars. See how many times O sound is repeated. So this is assonance. Allusion, a reference to a famous thing, place, species of animal, etc. Asian lion. So here lion is referred to a place. So this is allusion. So this is new literary device introduced to you. Next stanza. Or if sometime when roaming round a noble wild beast greets you with black stripes on a yellow ground, just notice if he eats you. The simple rule may help you learn the Bengal tiger to discern. Here she explains an animal that roams in the jungle and belongs to a royal clan. Noble means royal or aristocratic family. The color of its skin is yellowish with black stripes. She says that if you notice that he kills you and eats you up, then this means that you have surely seen a Bengal tiger. This time also she has used dark humor to explain how a tiger looks like, because once a person has been eaten up by a wild animal, there is no use in determining which wild animal it is, isn't it? So whenever you're eaten up, will you be alive to recognize which animal has pounced on you, which animal has attacked to you, and go and tell the world, yes, see, I have recognized this animal? No. So this is called as dark humor. Literary devices, rhyme scheme, again the same. Rhyme scheme has been repeated in all the 6 stanzas. A, B, A, B, C, C. Alliteration, repetition of consonant sound R. Roaming, round. Inversion, change in the format of a sentence. Here, again this is new literary device for you. There is a change in the format of a sentence. The Bengal tiger to discern. Discern means to notice. Allusion, reference to a famous thing, place, species of animal, etc. Bengal tiger. Here, the tiger belongs to Bengal. It has been referred to a specific place. So, this is called as allusion. Assonance, use of vowel sound O. Or if some time when roaming round. So here O sound has been repeated. So this is called as assonance. So students, by this time you might have been very thorough with the literary devices. What are literary devices and how many types are there, which are very important for you on the examination point of view. Right? Now we have the next stanza. If strolling forth a beast you view, whose hide with spots is peppered, as soon as he has leapt on you, you will know it is the leopard. It will do no good to roar with pain. He'll only lap and lap again. Here, the students, the poetess, she says that if you are casually walking in a jungle, you will meet an animal who has a skin with spots on it. Peppered. Okay, peppered means spots. This animal is so fast that it will leap on you at once, which means that it will jump on you. This jumping is an indication that it is none other than the leopard. Moreover, she adds that if you will cry out in pain, it is not going to be of any use as it will keep on jumping on you. So, in this stanza, the poet has explained the characteristic of a leopard. So, as I told you, students, in all the stanzas, she has taken one wild animal and referred to their characteristic, how they pounce on you, how they look like. So, it will be very easy for you to distinguish which animal it is. Now, the literary devices used here are rhyme scheme, A B A B C C. Then you have alliteration, use of consonant sound, H in the beginning of two words. He has, H letter is repeated or H sound is repeated. Poetic license, this is another new literary devices which is introduced. A liberty to the poet to change the spellings in order to create rhyme or rhythm in a poem. Okay, use of leapt. See, the spelling is L-E-A-P-T, but he has used the spelling L-E-P-T. So this is poetic license. Repetition, use of leapt word in the last line. Assonance, use of vowel sound O. Strolling forth you, whose spot do no good to roar. See here, O sound is repeated again. Consonants, use of L. He'll only lep. So the L sound is repeated here, which is consonants. So students, hope you might have understood the literary devices. Now let's go to the next stanza. If when you're walking round your yard, you meet a creature there who hugs you very hard, be sure it is a bear. If you have any doubts, I guess he'll give you just one more caress. Here, the poetess says, if you're walking in the lawn area of your house and you meet a creature which hugs you tightly, it is a bear. She further adds that if you are still in doubt regarding the animal, the easiest way is that he will keep hugging and touching you very gently. This act of his will make you sure about its identity. You will come to know that it is a bear. What? Student, I ask you, will you be waiting for the bear to hug you tightly and give you a kiss? No. Give you a gentle touch or soft touch? No. You will at once scream, shout for help, or you'll run away from there, or you'll be eaten up by that animal. So see here how well, how beautifully she has explained all the animals, how to identify these wild animals. Now let's look at the literary devices used in this stanza. Rhyme scheme, A B A B C C. Enjambment, continuation of a sentence to the next line. Here, if you were walking, this line is continued to the next line till creature there. Alliteration, use of W sound when walking. Use of H sound. Who hugs. Use of B sound, B bear. Assonance, use of vowel E. Meet a creature there. So, use of vowel E. E is repeated several times. So, this is assonance. Hope students you have understood these literary devices. So I think we have done a video, we have done a session on literary devices. So by this time you might be clear with the literary devices, what are literary devices, the types of literary devices, and how do you recognize these literary devices. And I hope you will be able to recognize when it is asked for you. Now next let's look out. Though to distinguish beasts of prey a novice might nonplus, the crocodile you always may tell from the hyena thus. Hyenas come with merry smiles, but if they weep, they are crocodiles. Here, the poet says that for someone who is new to the job of recognizing animals, okay, novice means newcomer, new to the job. It will be like a puzzle to recognize animals that hunt other animals for their food. So here the poet tries to help out the readers by telling the difference between two animals. He says that hyenas will be smiling, whereas if it is a crocodile, it is always in tears. Both of these animals are dangerous. You might have heard that crocodile tears, isn't it? Pretension. So the crocodile whenever it eats its prey, it sheds its tears. इसीलिए तो हिंदी में कहते हैं मगरमच्छ के आंसू, right? So hyenas also whenever they eat their prey, eat their food, they smile. So these are pretensions. So these two are very dangerous. Now let's look at the literary devices used here. Rhyme scheme, the same A B A B C C. Alliteration, use of consonant sound. N, novice, nonplus, use of the sound, the, thus. See here, THE, THUS. It is pronounced as the, thus. Next we have enjambment, continuation of sentence to the next line. Though to distinguish, this line is continued to the next line. Might, nonplus. The next sentence says the crocodile. This sentence is continues to the next line. Hyena, thus. So students, I believe by now you might have been very thorough with the literary devices, and I suggest you one thing. Whenever you read a poem, please do try to recognize the literary devices used there, so you'll be well versed with the identification of literary devices. Now let's go on to the next stanza, the last stanza of this poem. The true chameleon is small, a lizard sort of thing. He hasn't any ears at all and not a single wing. If there is nothing on the tree, it is the chameleon you see. It is not chameleon, it is chameleon. So here the poet says that the next is chameleon, which is a small creature. It is really a small creature. It looks like a lizard, but the difference between the two is that chameleon does not have ears and wings. You might have seen in your gardens or on the roads when you are walking this, जिसे हम गिरगिट कहते हैं, that is called as chameleon. It usually does not have ears or wings. Moreover, she says that chameleon has the ability to change its color according to the surface on which it is sitting. Therefore, if you see a tree and find nothing else on it, then it must be a chameleon sitting on it, because it changes its color according to the surroundings. The literary devices we use here is rhyme scheme, A B A B C C, alliteration, H sound, he hasn't, consonants, use of G sound, single, wink. So students, hope you might have understood this poem very well with the literary devices and with my explanations. Now the message given here is that one can identify the animals and differentiate among them by watching them how they eat us. An experienced person can distinguish between wild and the tame animal. Yes, students, so this is the end of the poem, How to Tell Wild Animals. Stay home, stay safe, and please go through the poems and chapters whenever you watch the video. Stay blessed.